What is going on, eaters and feeders? I am so glad to be with you for another episode. In this episode, we are going to be discussing marketing and advertising, mainly what the difference between marketing and advertising are, so you're able to encapsulate your activities and make sure that you're not neglecting anything. And I'm also going to tell you about how we can help you with your marketing and why it's going to be like throwing gasoline on a fire as far as your marketing efforts are concerned. But before we get into that, I want to make sure that I've introduced you to my channel if you are new. My name is Casey, and on this channel, I discuss business tips and tricks, entrepreneurial mindset, startup hacks, and so much more based on my experience starting Florida's highest rated meal prep company from nothing, as well as a myriad of other businesses. So if you're looking for information on how to go through production, marketing, leadership, software, scaling your business, sales, and so much more, everything in between, meditation, mindset, and all that jazz, I want to make sure that you're subscribed and you've got those alert notifications on because I don't want you missing out on any of my content. I produce videos weekly, if not even more often than that. I go live sporadically, and I want to make sure you don't miss one single minute of the information that you want and that you need to make your entrepreneurial journey just that much easier. Also, I want to make sure that while you're going down, subscribing and turning on those alerts, you're also checking out the links in the show notes because I've got links to stuff that is just too cool for video. I've got calculators, I've got free software that will basically run your entire business. Free software that will handle your orders, delivery lists, menus, macros, all that jazz. Too much to go into in an intro, so check that out. I've got other videos on my channel where you can check that stuff out, but check out the links. You'll also be able to book one-on-one consulting with me. You'll be able to get more information and updates on everything that's going on, stuff that's not available on YouTube, free ebook, free Bootcamp, private groups. I mentioned we've got a mastermind group now, and also marketing assistance. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into today's episode.
Welcome to our channel where we go behind the scenes for meal plan company Fit Food Fresh and other local businesses across South Florida. Make sure you hit the subscribe and alerts so you never miss a video, and hit us with any questions or suggestions.
I know a lot of business owners right now are learning the very dynamic and ever-changing field of marketing and advertising for their businesses. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but obviously you don't want to be spread too thin. You don't want to try to chase down every avenue. You want to make sure you find the avenues that make the most sense, that are going to render the best results. And a lot of it starts with the core foundation from which you're going to build upon, as well as the mentality that you enter this arena with, right? Now, first off, if you need help with marketing, I've got great news. You know me, I'm the guy who's always bringing resources, answers, materials, and all sorts of other stuff for you to make your business easier. I've come up with a pretty good idea, I think, where I mentioned this in other videos, I've alluded to it. Imagine, if you will, having a marketing company that specializes in your industry. That means that they already know what works, what doesn't work, plus they're working with other companies just like your company, just like your meal prep business, since that's where they specialize. So they know what keywords work, what keywords don't, how much they should be spending on what ads, at what platform, in what mediums, all of that stuff, as well as copywriting and chatbots and all that other stuff that is definitely doable. It's definitely something that you can learn, but let's be honest, you've probably got a lot of other things demanding your time and attention, right? Well, fear not, I've yet again brought to you a solution. So if you're interested in getting some help with marketing, it's going to be cheaper, more effective, more efficient, more expeditious than anything that you could find anywhere. Doing it yourself, finding another marketing company, I promise you. So check out the links in the show notes. One of those links will allow you to sign up for more information on the marketing. We can get into what your needs are, where you're at, where you want to be, and we can help start getting you there faster than you'd ever be able to do any other course. So check that stuff out, and we will be able to help you out, from teaching you how to do it yourself to just allowing the experts to roll up their sleeves, dive in, and take care of it for you, and everything in between. That's available for you depending on, your budget, your ambitions, your location, all that jazz. We can customize a plan just for you. So check that out in the links below. In this video, I want to discuss the differences between marketing and advertising. A lot of people look at those words as synonymous or interchangeable, And if you're not familiar with what they each mean, I feel like there might be something missed in the subtle nuances that may be, they may look like nothing, may look like cannon fodder, but I assure you with a lot of things in business, the devil is in the details. And while I do like to be fast and sloppy sometimes and just get execution done, like I always say, done is better than perfect, there are subtle things that do make sense to put a little bit more time into. And when you understand the difference between marketing and advertising, make sure that you're doing everything correctly. It's just like having a really good quarterback. You have to have a really good running back. You have to make sure that there's someone there to catch the ball, and or maybe not running back. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about football. Wide receiver. In any case, you need both. So marketing and advertising, they are not synonymous. They are very similar. A lot of people, I can see why you get them confused. But let's go through the differences. First off, let's talk about marketing. So marketing is the process of preparing and designing content to attract the intended audience and get them to identify who you are, identify what your product is, what you do, what your service is, so they can identify you and so that they can identify with you. So this is logos, this is font, this is sales scripts, this is copywriting, slogans, pictures, videos, even SEO. I would argue that SEO is also part of marketing, while it is also part of advertising. I would say it's more part of marketing because that's helping the search engine identify who you are, what you're about, what kind of content to expect, so that when someone does a search, Google or fill in the blank search engine is able to go, oh, you're asking about this, I think you're going to want to see this. And they bring them together. So that is all, putting it together with marketing. Think about it as a farmer bringing their produce to the market. Like, make it really simple. We got the word marketing in there. Let's think about the farmer taking their produce and bringing it to the market. You want to clean off the dirt. You're going to want to, make sure those carrots are nice and bright and clean. They look good. You're not bringing the rotten ones. Everything's about the aesthetics and the polish and the way it looks. And, with more realistic, real world experience, the vocabulary that you're using and the benefits, the value adds, and all that kind of stuff that you're describing. Going back to the farmer, he's going to want to make sure those buzzwords are in there. He's going to want to make sure he tells you that these are organic carrots, that they're fresh carrots, they're farm fresh organic carrots. Putting that in there is probably going to draw a lot more attention and a lot more dollars to the carrots next to it, which are just carrots. If I have a little bit of a story in the description of what those carrots are, that's marketing. You don't want to just have just carrots, just a meal plan. Buy from my meal plan. I make good food. Good is better than I make food, but come on, get a little bit more descriptive. Roll up, get a little creative. What would make you salivate? What would make you say, yes, that's what I identify with? Not necessarily just you either. You want to identify with the person who you would like to be attracting, the potential customer out there who hasn't tried you yet. How are you going to differentiate yourself from all the cannon fodder of all the other companies that are out there? So marketing, identity, that description of what you are, who you are, what you do, the service you provide, what you give me, what am I going to get from you, what can I expect, and why, what's your why, what makes you different than everybody else. That's all goes into the marketing. The pictures, the selection of all the aesthetics, the font, even your colors, all of that goes into marketing. Another thing that I mention regarding marketing is, in many times, marketing doesn't cost you money. Marketing costs you time. Marketing costs the time it takes for you to write up some copy, to write a description, to take the pictures and set the lighting up correctly and pick the right colors and all that kind of stuff. Go through all the font. It costs you time more than it necessarily costs you money. Advertising, on the other hand, is pretty much, while it will cost you time as well, it definitely costs you money. Think of advertising, again, let's use a word that's already in there, an ad. An ad costs money. If I buy an ad at a Super Bowl, we've all heard, every year we hear how much the Super Bowl ads cost for 60 seconds or 30 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it is. I'm spending money on it. I'm paying to buy attention, to buy eyeballs, to get in front of you, to get my logo and what I do in my marketing in front of you. So that's advertising. Billboards, TV commercials, radio commercials, paying influencers, and whatever it is to get in front of you. Again, the commodity in that world is attention. you have to pay for people's attention in many cases. Think of it as the action of communication that presents your product or your service to an audience for a price. And it's often someone else's audience. Now, if you're advertising, a commercial on Conan O'Brien, that's Conan O'Brien's audience, and you're advertising, you're paying to advertise to his audience. And again, whether it's a show, an influencer's audience, or whatever it is, you're paying to access somebody else's audience. Now, if you have your own following, you can do that as well. But primarily, historically, advertising is paying to get in front of somebody else's audience, to leverage their audience for your benefit and to increase the awareness of you and expose them to, again, your marketing, that key word right there. Now, with marketing, I would closely associate it with time and creativity. Advertising, I'm going to say it's more heavily associated with data and money. Marketing gets you paid tomorrow. Advertising gets you paid today. Advertising is a faster ROI. Advertising is like PPC. You're paying per click, and that's getting people to your website today. Whereas SEO is like, an example of SEO efforts would be me writing blogs. I might write blogs for weeks or months before that blog actually gets my website up on the first page. So I'm investing time. I'm not going to write a blog today unless I already have an audience, but I'm not going to write a blog today that's going to get my page on the first page of Google. Odds are. If it's already there, obviously it's already there, but I'm not going to go from search result number 10 page to number 1 page with a blog today. That's SEO. It's a little bit longer, but they are combined. You do want to have both. You don't want to just have to continue spending money, but also you do want to have enough results to come in so you're able to make enough money to stay in business and enjoy the fruits of the SEO labor. And if this stuff is over your head, I go into more detail and I can hold your hand through it. I've got other videos on it, and if you're interested in having us help with the marketing, again, link in the show notes, and we will be able to, you won't have to learn anything about marketing or advertising or spending or data or any of that stuff. You just say, here's what I want. Here you go. Go and do it for me and make me successful. I'm going to focus on making amazing food and providing amazing customer service. And that's what I want to allow you to do. I want to allow you to focus on what you're good at, what your strengths are. If you're strong at marketing, start a marketing company. Don't bother, cooking food and worrying about customer service. If you want to cook food and worry about customer service, I'll allow you to do that. I'll help you with the marketing, logistics, all that other jazz. Now, which should you focus on first? I think it makes sense to start with marketing because, again, it's your time. A lot of you guys are startups. You guys are doing that grind. You don't have a lot of money to put out there. And, again, you're going to want to make sure that you have someone to catch the ball. If I send you to your website and your website is garbage and the colors are all funky and you don't have any pictures and the description's off and it's nothing really you just wasted money getting someone to your website and they're just going to bounce and go somewhere else. So I think it makes sense to start with marketing because that is where you're going to be deciding what is your brand tone going to be? What is your image going to be? How are you going to convey your value propositions to the potential customers? Once you have that down, your advertising efforts are going to be more effective and more efficient. Then it's just a matter of learning to tweak and adjust as you go. If you were to focus on just advertising out the gate, you're going to quickly find that you're going to need marketing material, even if it's just sales scripts and copywriting and some pictures or something like that. So it makes sense to focus on that stuff. Make sure you got somewhere to throw that ball for it to be caught and run into the end zone. Otherwise, you're not really making any progress. No one's catching. You're not making any progress up the field, and you're just going to be spinning your wheels, spending your money, and wasting your time. Skimming over marketing and rushing to advertise pretty pictures of your product without spending enough time to figure out what your message is can be a very quick way to burn through time and money without even knowing why your ads failed. How many pictures of food do you see out there? Probably a lot. How effective do you think another pretty picture of food is going to be versus a well thought out slogan, a well done infographic that educates your audience about the benefits of being on a meal prep, for instance, or making me a little bit more familiar with your why, the reason that your meal prep is different than others, or why I should go and spend my hard-earned dollars with you, as opposed to just another pretty picture of food or some information, something that's a big differentiator. When everybody's putting up pretty pictures of food, not to say you don't need pretty pictures of food, you do, but if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. Yes, we eat with our eyes first, But this isn't Denny's. We're not sitting down. You don't have a captive audience. You're still out there competing with everybody else. You need those differentiators. You need more depth, more content. You've got to help people find their way from your ad to your site through their wallet before you have a win. And that's hard to do with just another pretty picture. Cannon fodder. Third time I've mentioned it. Hopefully that clears it up for you. And there's so much that you guys can get into. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to learn every medium of marketing and be an expert photographer, an expert videographer, expert video editor, expert at the data sciences behind it and running Facebook campaigns versus Google campaigns versus Bing campaigns versus Instagram campaigns versus radio commercials versus billboards, and oh my gosh, you go insane. But luckily, again, I've got some great people that are experts at what they do, and they specialize with the meal prep industry, some professional marketers. So focus on what your strengths are, allow these guys to focus on what their strengths are, combine them and kill it. Again, that information is below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again. Check out mealprepbiz101.com, book a consultation, check out a free ebook, check out a free bootcamp, whatever you need, it's all available for you guys. I look forward to helping you grow as a business, as an entrepreneur, and as an individual.